Welcome back to a new week. As you can see, I had an accident. I had a scooter accident. It's not that bad. I have a little ankle wound, a little arm wound. We were on the scooter. I was on the back because I can't drive, and there was a turn coming up where there was gravel on the ground, and we weren't going that fast, but there was one guy that was passing us, and the street was basically covered in gravel, but there was one little lane that was kind of free from gravel. But there was one guy that was passing us, basically going into that lane, and it kind of made us like have to go a little out of his way. And then at the same time, I saw the gravel, and Frankie and I had an experience before where we basically almost fell on gravel. And then I saw the gravel and I was like, oh, be careful, gravel is super sketchy. The moment I said it, well, we ended up driving on the gravel, which is basically a problem too, because we should have driven in the lane without the gravel, because the scooter just doesn't have grip if it's on gravel. So we were driving on the gravel. If you use the brakes on gravel, you should never use the brakes on gravel, and if you really have to use the brakes on gravel, always use the back wheel. The combination of this guy passing us, me saying, oh, slow down, this is super sketchy, led to us being on the gravel, losing control on the scooter and falling. It wasn't that bad. My arm was a little scratched open. Well, this whole area basically was scratched open. It's still healing, and I have a couple like ankle foot wounds here. They're still healing too. Everything is fine. It's just the way it is in Bali. You see so many scooter accidents here, and it's a little tricky and a little dangerous, but people should know what to do in specific moments before they hop on a scooter. And there are roads here in Bali that just have gravel on the ground, and I feel like people that rent the scooter to the tourists should like give them a little like warning of like things, because I personally did not know that you should never brake on gravel. I mean, it makes sense, I still didn't know. So maybe just like before renting out a scooter on Bali, maybe tell the tourists how to ride a scooter. Anyway, that's the story. I'm doing great. Okay, little story time. So the past 3 days, the AC in my room was leaking. At first it wasn't that bad. Whenever I turned it off and then on again, it was okay. But then it started basically raining out of my AC. So the first night I slept with the AC off. It was the worst night. It was so hot at night, I could not sleep. So last night I decided to sleep with the AC on, and I had like little kitchen bowls to like catch the water, but they were full immediately, and I was like, okay, I can't sleep like this because they're gonna overflow and flood my room eventually. So I came up with a brilliant idea of using this little trash can I have, putting in a trash bag, and then place it under the AC so all the water would just land in there. And it did work for a while, and I just went to sleep. I had like towels on the table and everything. I went to sleep, woke up this morning, wanted to check how full the little basket is, because like it was raining. It's not just like dripping out of the AC, it was like raining out of my AC. Walked up to the table here, immediately like slipped because the floor was just full of water. So the room was basically a little flooded this morning. The towels were soaked, the table was dripping, the floor was wet, and I was like, oh my gosh. The AC guys came, fixed it, and now I have a nice little cold room again. Thank God! This is my last night here in Uluwatu in this little Airbnb. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to Talia and spend a couple days there with her kids. Then I'm gonna come back for my last final like week and a half probably in Uluwatu, and then my time in Bali is over. And then it's back to Germany, back to working my ass off. Wow, crazy, crazy. Okay, I announced on Instagram that I am currently working towards an online studio, an online yoga studio, where I offer yoga practices, but also sound healing sessions and maybe a little bit of meditation, a little bit of breath work, let's see. But today, while this is something that my heart and my soul and my mind really dreams of, it's also something that's incredibly scary for me because I know how much work I have to put into making it possible. Because ever since I became a yoga teacher, I haven't really taught, and it obviously becomes so much easier if you keep practicing your cues and how to get people into poses, how to get them out of poses, how to cue transitions, since I've not been practicing on anyone. It's just a little scary because I really have to start teaching to be able to build an online business, right? So this is what I'm practicing right now. I'm practicing my cues, I'm practicing teaching while I am doing my own practices. It's been a crazy little rough journey. It's really not that easy, especially if you want to move people through like a very flowy sequence where there's not so much explaining and cueing and details to like alignments. You have to talk really fast because I have to talk English because I'm gonna teach in English and I learned how to teach in English. I will continue to teach in English, and because English is not my first language, as soon as I like start talking very fast, sometimes it just happens that the words aren't coming out right, and it's like, I really have to practice to like get my mouth used to the cues. Yeah, this is something I'm dreaming of since a while now, and it's starting to take on shape. Because now I started setting up a website template and like put all the visuals that I had for the website into like actual physical form, which is very exciting. And I know all the steps I have to do to like make it happen basically. And it's really exciting and also really scary, especially because this morning, I mean, not just today, this is not something I realized only today, but this is something that hit me very hard again this morning. That is how much of a perfectionist I am and how much my perfectionism actually keeps me from doing things. Like writing my thesis, I was procrastinating from writing my thesis for so long because I was like, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all, which is like not a good mindset, right? And same with like practicing to teach. I have this like standard of the teacher, the yoga teacher I want to be. And to get there takes practice. And I've been shying away even from practicing in my own four walls, in my own room where no one else is watching and no one else is listening, just because I am my biggest enemy and I am the one who's judging me the most. It's really, wow. And this morning it hit me really hard that perfectionism keeps me from so much. And perfectionism makes me so unhappy. What I'm trying to invite into my life is compassion, being okay with making mistakes, failing, not being the best one at something, just inviting playfulness into life. And like, don't freak out if I'm not perfect in my own standards. It's gonna be a journey to let go of the perfectionism for sure. But I mean, it has to happen and it's going to happen. Because I wanted to talk about something that I'm really into right now, and it's The Work by Byron Katie. This is basically a concept to question your belief system and to work with your mind's prison, because we all put us in a prison with the thoughts we have, and whatever we believe shows in our actions and in the way we treat people. So this is a very, very, very interesting work. It works with 4 questions on one belief. So let's say I am in a relationship and I say I want my partner to care about me. My partner should care about me. The first question is this true? I would say, of course it's true. I want my partner to care about me. Then I'm gonna ask, can I absolutely know that this is true? My partner should care about me. And it's a practice in stillness, but eventually you find a no in this question. And then you're gonna check in with yourself. Who am I and how am I treating the other person if I believe this thought? And then the person isn't treating me the way I want them to treat me. So I want my partner to care about me, and then they're not. Then I get angry. I let them feel that this is not what I want from them. I'm gonna get passive aggressive. It shows in my facial expressions. It shows in my actions towards them. And then you're gonna ask yourself the 4th question, who would I be if I wouldn't believe this thought? Well, in this relationship, I would probably just be happy. I could be content. I wouldn't need my partner's attention and care because I would give myself enough attention. I would give myself enough love that I wouldn't need it from anyone outside of myself. Then you can turn your statement around, like, my partner should care about me, can be turned around and I should care about my partner. And then you say, where is this true? Where am I maybe not as caring as I would like to be? And then you turn it around again and you say, I should care about myself. And there you have like the answer back to yourself. Everything in the work basically shows you where you aren't free, where you aren't giving yourself what you want from others, what you are expecting from others. It is super interesting, and I'm diving deep into this right now. This was just a little rundown because I want to keep it short. I feel like I've been talking a lot in this vlog already. It is so freeing to do the work, so liberating, and I'm definitely gonna dive more into it. And if it's interesting enough, I'd love to share my insights with you and just create a little safe space for us to be imperfect human beings, because we're all learning. Our minds are the most powerful tools that we have. Our minds basically are the human superpower, and we really have no idea how to handle this power. It's definitely really nice to work with it, and as always, I just love to take you on this little life journey. This little life journey of mine. So thank you so much for watching.